Need to pump the brakes.
Hello, Teaquilters. Today is Saturday, February 24th, 2024, and we're here for live sew and chat. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be on tonight. I'm actually not feeling well. I was fine earlier today, and now I've got like scratchy throat, so if it starts hurting really, really bad, then we'll just end the live. I just rested a little bit. I didn't go to sleep. I had a scrap quilting club today, and I was fine all day. I got home in about like 30 minutes after being home. I wasn't feeling the best. Now, I've been watching Little Jersey like 3 times last week, and she had a cold, and I'm thinking that I've got her cold. So I've taken sinus meds to make sure it's not sinus, because I haven't really been out a whole lot, but this week I had been, and the weather fluctuated. So I'm hoping that the sinus meds help, but so far, not so lucky. So we'll see how long I can stay on here tonight. So let's see who's in the chat. Melody Kiefer, Christine H., See Joy Creations, Deborah Holloway, Brenda Foley, Betsy Layton, Dolores Phelps, Katie Crafts, Judy Hebert, Norma Lovelace, Kevin the Quilter, June Hanson, Diamond in the Rough, Annette J., Betty Ward, Joanne House, Leetta Bryant, Joyce Hernandez, Judy, Bonita Nance says, hey Miss T and everyone, back from QuiltCon day trip. Saw Latifa, Lisa from Culture Expressions, Natalie Doan, Vanessa the Crafty Gemini, and Good Run from GE Designs, and Shaquita Pearson and her mom. Oh, that's pretty cool that she took her mom to the quilt show too. That's awesome. Hope you guys had fun. I don't know if today or tomorrow is the last day. I think it goes to Sunday. So that was pretty cool. I'm sad I didn't go, but I have way too much going on that I just couldn't put that into my schedule. But Sue saying, hello TN family, just in case you're interested, 122 days until the talented Miss T opens 2024 retreat extraordinaire. Deborah saying she's feeling the same way. I took some medicine also. Christine says show some love and hit the thumbs up button. Thank you, ma'am. C-Rax MC is here. Minnie Dula. Cynthia Shade. T. Roberts, Vivian Calvey, D. Branson. So welcome everybody. I was thinking I was going to do something else today, but that didn't happen because all I've done is sat down and rested. And I haven't even eaten anything today. I had 2 donuts And I just ate a banana so I don't come in here and pass out, you know, doing a live. So the struggle is real right now. So I'm just going to press some of these pieces of fabric that I have here. I'm trying to cut off like the scrappy bits off the end, so that's what some of this is. So if it looks a little strange, that's why. You know, sometimes you just start chopping in the fabric and then you've got not exactly cottage cheese, but starting to get there. So I chopped off that to use it up. So and Dee Branson was also at QuiltCon, so that's cool. I know Benita was glad she didn't have to travel this year because she goes to QuiltCon, so that was cool for her that it was close to her. So I think when I left you all, I had like 4 blocks, maybe, yeah, 4 blocks done. I did do 8 more with those other fabrics that I had. So I now have 12 blocks, string blocks made. I need a lot of them, like I think 60, I think it's, if the number is right. Oh, I know what I need to do too. I got something I need to show you guys. I'm gonna have to go get it though. Whew. I got a lot of long pieces this time. Last time I couldn't find pieces. Oh my goodness, I can cut this machine on, moving stuff. We don't want that on. Hey Remo JS. Thank you T for hitting the thumbs up saying her rent is paid. Thank you, thank you. If you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up button for me, please. I really appreciate it. This board is so warped. Peggy O'Connor's here. She says, I'm sewing along with you tonight, working on the hidden churn dash optional block. Love the block and purple gray combination. So that's cool. I didn't even go to the meeting to do the blocks for January and February. I was sitting in bed, forgot all about the meeting, okay, taking a break. I guess I really did go on break. thank you, Christine. Said, hope you feel better soon. Yep. I was going to take my braids down tomorrow, but I don't know if I'm going to do that now. I was going to have my daughter help me. I don't even want to go back to her house because I don't want to pass it back to them. I'm going to get them sick. Let me let this iron heat up. And while that's happening, I'm going to go get what I wanted to show you guys anyway. Got my phone in my pocket. Uh-oh. I don't want to knock my cup off the end of this desk. So I wanted to show you this. So I won when we went, let's see, Homestead Hearth had an open house. They've done some remodeling. Kevin works for them. They're in Mexico, Missouri. And we went down on the open house, Jason and I. And I put in for a raffle basket. I never win raffle baskets, but I won this one. So I got this bag of stuff. So I was about to start getting rid of stuff that I didn't want at Scrap Club, but I said, at least let me show the people first before I start giving stuff away. Hi, Judy Smith. June says she's paid her rent. Bonita talking about lately, I've been able to give you 2 thumbs up, TV and the phone. Yes. They finally look like they got my television synced now with my phone. I just want to get those out the way. Jason Lewis is here. Sharon Lewis is here. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. So Becca is here, I think, and Tiffany. They're at QuiltCon. So, and Donna, I think. So hopefully you girls are having fun. I saw a picture of Tiffany with Ian, the quilter, so he's there. So that's pretty cool. Sandy Agger is here. She said, yes, they're in the same room, each on a device watching. See how cray-cray we are. We was doing the same thing in Houston. So that's pretty funny. Dizzy is here. Yeah, I'm surprised Tiffany made it having to fly. Talking about she flew Southwest. So yeah. So let's see. What's in the bag? So I'm gonna start. In the bag is a bag. Of some kind. So let's open this up. Oh, this thing. It's got, oh, this is pretty interesting. This is a bag. Right here. That was in the bag. So it's got a color wheel on the bag. But then on the back, it's got a retreat checklist. It's got bed and comforter coverlet size. Yardage for quilt backings, double fold binding edges method 1. Then you've got a method 2. How to cutting bias strips, double fold binding ends, method 3. Miter double folding binding corner construction, and 3 options for finishing the binding. Hanging sleeve thingy on the back. So that's pretty cool. That right there was worth the win right there. I like anything like that. Very colorful. So I was originally going to put everything in this bag, but this bag is so big. It's a great bag for carrying a quilt in or quilts in. This was not from them. One of the ladies at Scrap Club gave me this Sound Waves pattern. She thought that it had freezer paper foundations in it, and she wanted the quilt larger, so she purchased 2 of these. And it ended up that it's a template based, not foundation piecing. So she ended up with 2, so she just gave it to me today. So that was pretty cool. Sound Waves by Heidi Pridemore. The Whimsical Workshop. Let me go read what they... Oh, that's a pretty bag. Love the bag. That's a beautiful bag. Loving the bag. Love the color wheel on it. A lot of people love the bag. And I love that pattern. That's Kevin. He said, girl, a good grief, I would be dangerous with that bag at a fabric store. That's too funny. It'll be great for retreats. It'll be great for taking quilts to Quilt Guild for show and tell. Then I got this Plan to Quilt book by Shannon Gilman Orr, and the Ultimate Calendar Free based or project based organizer. So it's got where you can design like sections where you can design block designs. It's got like dotted paper. I just went straight to the middle and the back just to see what's back here. Quilt plan if you want to plan a whole quilt. Quilt story, notes. See what's up in the front. Shopping list, next steps. They got a thing for you to do the projects and then for you to do your next steps. I actually do this in my Excel spreadsheet. So I don't know if each of these sections, like each color is a different quilt. That's what it looks like. So yeah, because all the pages repeat. So each color of this book has like, I don't know, maybe 20. I didn't read. But so it's like different colors for that. Interesting. This is your week at a glance. Make good scrap paper. Magic pens, fork pens, and flathead pens. I have the fork pens in the purple. I don't have the flatheads in the blue, but I have the round in blue. And then these magic pens are also heat resistant, so that's great. Always can use more pens. Let's just open that up right now and put them right here in my pen cushion. It's not that many of them. 2, 4, 6 of that one. I'm gonna 4 of the forks. So we can get rid of that. Something used already. This is a banner set. It has 8 pennants and 2 extenders. So this is what it looks like on the back. It's Moda homemade. Like the bag was from Moda as well. Okay, got a couple of patterns. The Whole Country Caboodle cone flower pattern. Says it's the small cone. I had some of these before that I gave away, I think last year at retreat. They're like, the appliques are already pre-cut for you. And this makes a 4 1/4 by 5-inch block. So they're already die cut. Oh, look at this. I got a pattern from Lee, the company made Chappelle. Gail's lattice quilt. I just went on the cruise, the Hawaiian cruise, and I took 3 of her classes. So that's interesting. That is, it's like when stuff like this happen, it's kind of unique because I didn't even know of her before that. All right. This one is lined. It's got 2 in here, looks like. I made this before. I can't remember if it was called lined. It was a free pattern when I got it on one of the fabric manufacturer site. I made it in yellows. I don't know if you all remember that. And then on the other side is a quilt called angled. Just make sure nothing else is in here. Love the book, Sue GSD. Oh, it is something else in here. Well, Sue GSD, happy birthday, okay? Happy birthday to you. Here's another. This is, it's like a card. It's not a pattern. But that quote on the cover is so cute. It's just a post, like an advertisement. Just want to make sure there's nothing in the middle. Hi, Patricia Priest. What a great bag from Sue. Those are cute, the applique. Sharon from, I don't know what that word is. So Savvy Designs. It's not So Savvy. I know that, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Strike quilt, a half-ease pattern. So another pattern. This is by, again, May Chappelle, which is Lee. That's the name of her company, is May Chappelle. Let me see if there's any more patterns in here. Lots of stuff in here. Taking out notions. All right. Trying to pull anything fabric related to the side. Okay, so we still got notions in the bag. Okay, so we'll start what I got. All right. My Two Ladies. I don't know what this is. It looks like it's a stiletto. Somebody, maybe you all can help me. This bag has a stiletto that's wood. And it's really pretty. With the split wood, like you can see it on the tip here. And then it has this right here. And I don't know what this is for. So I'll have to go look this up. But it's by My Two Ladies. I don't know what this is for. I think this is a stiletto. This end can be a wood press because it's at the angle of a wood press. But I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. It's very pretty. Y'all know I love pretty wood projects. So let me know what this is if anybody has seen it. Oh, it's Ghost. Okay, so it's just Go. Thank you, Sean. Go Savvy Designs, because I just said so because that sounded good too. As far as a name, not that I knew it wasn't so, but and people talking about happy birthday, Sue. Love that half square triangle pattern. Yeah, I do like when half square triangles use different sizes. We're going to be doing some of that. She's talking about, yes, ma'am, it sounds good. Yeah, when I don't know how to pronounce something, I know I butcher a lot of stuff, so I try not to even go there. Joanne Parker is here. Welcome, welcome. Miss T, reminder to explain round robin. That's Liz, okay? Sue talking about, what? It's not my birthday. It is if you get in the book. You're just getting it early. This is Alphabet's Specialty Marking Tools Expansion Pack. So this is an expansion pack. So what's the regular pack? Okay. And see, I don't know how I'm supposed to use these. These adorable plastic squares are perfect for labeling your fabric pieces after cutting. So I'm just supposed to put these in a bag. They have no hole in them. Unless I put one in there, I guess. They pair perfectly. They're like labels. I'm not showing them to you guys. But these are like the double. So this is like EE instead of E. PP. So yeah, this is like the second part of the alphabet. But it has some numbers in here too. So I have that. I saw something else that looked like this. So it's a Smarty Cat. Too cute. And I work hard so my cat can live a better life. Now let's open one of them and see what it is. Oh, it's pretty paper. Got the cat on the bottom. Really pretty. So now we got to see what the other one looks like. He looks like a smarty cat, don't he? He got the glasses on. It's really pretty the way these are designed. Hello, Claudette Bettis. Hi, Deborah Quilts. And then he's down there. So those are cute. Don't know what these are. Floss bobbins. Hold 2 skeins of 6-strand floss. I have to look this up. Y'all know I started back doing. Oh, they got caps that come on and off. Interesting. Let's open it up. So they got caps. I've never seen this before. This is from the purple thing in the Gypsy Quilter. Yep. So, ugh. So I get, oh, it don't come apart. I'm about to tear it up, okay? So I guess you wrap the thread and get it wrapped in here some kind of way. I have to look this up, okay? But I don't think I'm going to be doing all of this. And then these snap into each other. So if you're working on a project, you can just stack these all together. There's 6 of them in here total. I've been on tore some stuff up. And they don't have no instructions in here. Simply wrap the floss around the bobbin. Bobbin interlocks and stacks for easy storage. Girl, we need a video. You know they got one. I don't know about that. Oh, self-erase marker. 2-in-1 precision tip fabric marker and eraser. So you mark on one end and then erase with the other end. I'm surprised because purple normally was reserved for air soluble. It like after days, it would erase itself. So that's different. This is OM to the G, a reusable pocket shopper. Now I made one of these. I don't think I ever used it, but this is too cute. It has a little snap outer bag, and I'm probably never gonna get this back in here. This is by Miori reusable pocket shopper. Alley K Designs. Let you see the label. This is the little purse thing it comes in. That's cute in itself. And then this thing is huge according to this photo. It is ginormous. Look at that. So that's a nice shopping bag. I would definitely put this in my car. I always keep the reusable bags in my car for shopping. So this is awesome. And it's pretty. Hi, Gwenny Simpson from Alberta, Canada. Welcome, welcome. I'm just showing some things that I won. This is not a haul. I did not spend this money. For once. This is Sarah J. Maxwell Studio 37 Fabrics Dandy Days. It's some Orfil thread. Now, who can't use Orfil thread? Let's see, what size is it? 50 weight. 10 small spools, 80 weight. So I don't know why they got two sizes on here. You trying to confuse me? Oh, they do have two different sizes in here. They got a brown, wooden. I think that's what the really thin for paper piecing threads, and then the orange, which is your regular. I can't even probably find. Yeah, orange is your regular Orfil 50 weight. So 220 yards of 50 weight and 300 yards of the 80 weight. So that's pretty cool. I love that. I'm always using some thread. Guess what? I just looked at my thread, so you know we're going to put that up right now. Who doesn't love Orfil thread? Especially free. That's some expensive thread. I got a spool of thread that's not cooperating. I got a giant spool in here. And it doesn't want to play. All right. This one here, I'm going to donate. It's funny. I got a cat counted cross stitch pattern, but I'm not going to do that. Even though it's a small one. It's by Dimensions. And it's just called Meow. Nope, I'm not going to do that. So let's pull out the rest in the bottom of the bag. I think it's funny because I just went on that trip. And I'm working on that. Well, I'm not working on it. I haven't worked on it in 2 weeks now since I've been back to working on Teaquilt stuff. On my needlework project. And you needed to have some specialty yarns for accents. And of course, I didn't have any. But there's yarn in here. They also are a yarn shop. This is a Keenan hand-dyed yarn. The color is just beautiful. It's a dark teal. The bottom of the bag has some little fuzz in there. We'll just take that off. But this is really pretty. So now I got something that I can use for accents. This one is Plied Yarns. Really pretty one as well. So I can use these for accents somewhere in my project. That's cool. Got a piece of DMC. Just a piece of blue. And then I've got these specialty little smaller pieces on here. Like I could do like eyes and things that are small, or top stitching on the fins of some of the sea creatures. This would be perfect for that. So this is like weird. 2 patterns and stuff I needed for my Hawaiian cruise are in there. And again, who doesn't love Orfil? Got this chocolate brown, almost the color of my shirt I'm wearing today. A gray. light gold. It's kind of gold, not really yellow. It's like, look more gold to me. Now this, I don't know. Never used this one before. Quilter Select Thread. I think that's Alex Anderson's company. I got some rulers and stuff. I never even used them. I bought them a couple years ago. Still haven't used them. I'm so used to cutting what I want. But this is Perfect Cotton Plus. I'm assuming it's 60 weight. Let's see. Yeah, 60 weight. And it says it's 400 meters. In kind of like a taupe color. So, who doesn't like thread? All right, so we're almost done. Now we got the fabric. So I can put this stuff back. I'm just, the thread I'm going to put up. I'm just going to put this stuff back in the bag because I'm sewing. It's got to go somewhere. Anybody ever find out what this triangle was? This right here. I'm going to leave it out. I'll show it again. Let me put the rest of this in here. It's got to go somewhere. Got to get out of here. That up. All right. Anybody ever figure out? I'm gonna have to look it up, right? What is this triangle from My Two Ladies? Anybody ever seen this before? It came with a stiletto. Christine says she likes Alex Anderson patterns. Took my 2025 retreat application to post office today. That's from Sue. Awesome, awesome. I checked today. Didn't receive any in the regular mail. I did get some bus stuff sent to my home from people that know my address from the Quilt Guild. Creating memory samplers. Winter reds and greens. Oh, Tilda. I guess I'll give this to Jason. If he wants it. Let me know, Jason. Because I don't want to give Jason, he doesn't keep anything he's not going to use. But let me start from the back. So it's like, it's not 5-inch squares because they're like maybe 5 by 6 or 7. But I know Jason loves Tilda. Me, I would just be throwing it in with regular scraps. Not doing anything special with it. It wouldn't be with any other Tilda fabrics. So if Jason likes it, I'll give it to him. He say, Tilda? Yep. I know he would better use it than me because he's got like Tilda lines. So at least he can make a quilt of Tildas. Okay, I'll give you that, Jason. And he said that's some Tilda he hadn't seen. So I'll give that to you because I'd rather, like, if I don't have any Tilda in my house. And so it doesn't make sense for me to waste it when I got somebody that's right here that can use it better than I can. This, I have to look up a video on this because this don't make sense to me. It's just weird. But I'm sure there's a purpose. All right, and then there's a Studio E fabric pack. Doesn't have a name on the front, just color. 42 5-inch squares, 100% cotton. Let me let you see this pattern. I don't know if it's gonna change, but it's got more pastels. Not, oh, they got some black in here, but pastel colors. So it's got yellows, black, gray, greens, blues, red, a couple, one orange, and it's all the same design, looks like to me. And then they've got like a little bit of the variegated colors in here, red and white, and then purple and pink is in the back, light pink. There's some dark pink, purple right there, dark pink behind it, and then a lavender and another purple. So really pretty, something that I could use. I'm just putting everything in the bag for right now. And then OM to the GGG. These are half-yard cuts of 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe they yard cuts. These are yard cuts. Not necessarily a yard, just slightly shy. So they could be like the end of the boat cut. They cut generous there. I have to say that when I had my fabric cut. What fabric did I have cut? I didn't have any fabric cut there. I saw them cutting other people's fabric. And so, because what I got cut was just panels, and I didn't need it cut because I bought all the panels. But woo, woo, woo. This is by Kath Holden's Vintage Soul from Moda. Stock number 7431. So, I guess, hey, Kevin and Jason, guess what my love bug is going to be made out of, okay? So, yeah. Got 4 of them. This one's still the same line. Kath Holden's Vintage Soul. And it's 7432. So, this one's got bird in it. Same line. Stock number 7433. So they're almost a yard. And then this last one is, I got to write them and thank them. Goodness gracious, 7435. All of the same line. So 4 pieces from the same line. And that's, I'm sad to say that's it, because that's not really it. You know what I'm saying? That was a lot. And even with giving some things away, that was a very good gift bag, like a door prize. I was really surprised. And they had maybe 3, Kevin can correct me if I'm wrong, I think they had 3 or at least 3 prizes that they gave out. So they all had different things in them. So I'm really happy with that. The wooden piece looks like a knit or crochet wrap. And it could be, because it's so funny, because if you use the other end, you could use it as a wood press too. So let me go back and see what the comments are saying here. Remo says she sent an email. Okay, because I've sent emails for 2024 retreat. I put down a list of names of people that I have not received a registration form from, and that's important because I'm about to order t-shirts, and if your name isn't on there, I'm only going to order extra shirts, probably in my size. So if I don't sell them, I can wear them. So if you don't wear an extra large and you want to make sure that your shirt, that you have a shirt that fits, you want to make sure that you get your registration form filled out, because that's where I'm taking your t-shirt order from for 2024 Quilt Retreat t-shirt. I gotta get them to change the color. The color of the shirt was gonna be purple and gray, but I didn't like that. So then I did purple and I wanted lime green. They sent it back to me and it kind of was Kelly green. It was too dark for the purple. So I sent it back and I'm trying to get them now to change it in turquoise. I sent it in an email. And so they haven't responded to the email. So Monday, I'm just going to go ahead and call and ask them to do that. Because once I call them, they'll do it right away. I think the emails just get lost because people are still working from home. So make sure that you're checking your emails. Make sure also that you are checking your spam folder for mail from Teaquilts. It's either going to be T at Teaquilts, Teaquilts at Teaquilts, or T at yahoo.com, because I'll be using all three of them to make sure that one of them goes through, because I'm having some email issues at this time. So it is a pen. Oh, now that makes sense. That's from Sean. She says it's a pen to wear on a knitted blouse. Now that makes sense. I don't have anything that's knitted here, but I can see pushing up through and then putting this through. And then you have the decorative. But it could be dangerous, can't it? But it is very pretty. I think it's very pretty and I love it. And I'm one of those people that I like stuff like this anyway. When it's pretty, I use them as ornaments. I just hang them anywhere around my house. So I don't put up my Christmas tree anymore. So I like putting up some of my special ornaments or things that I get from friends. I just hang them around in places and let them hang all year. So that's pretty cool. Okay, now that makes sense. So thank you, Sean. Thank you, Kevin. He was showing me that, Kevin. You're welcome, Jason. Gweenie says she's got to run. Oh, my goodness. My throat is like a mess, y'all. So bear with me tonight. And then I got apple cider here. And it's hot. It's going to kill me in this cup. I've been putting it in the blue cup, but today I wanted more than the blue cup because my throat's not feeling good. And, of course, it's hot. That border stripe is pretty. Yep. Jason says he thinks Eric bought a fat quarter bundle of that line in Houston. So, yeah. And anything that I'm missing, I'll just use a solid or some grunge, whatever I got that I can go with it, because we need 5 fabrics. So, Sue Allen is here. Welcome, welcome. You missed the triangle. I got it. Thank you. That was a great surprise bag from June. Yes. Nice prize. Yes. And Sean's laughing with me when I'm saying it at the same time. I'm laughing. I'm like, sad to say that's it, but I'm like, OM to the G. Even just the big color wheel bag was enough for me just right out the gate, because I never looked at it. I saw that it was a bag in there, and I'm thinking it's going to be, you know, the big tote bag that you can still put a quilt in, but not one that big. And then I had another shopping bag I can use for groceries and stuff. So, yeah, I can't wait to use all these bags. And then I got a bag. The stuff came in a bag, okay? Good night, Joyce. Miss Vivian, Mrs. Zoom. I don't have time yet. I still got stuff I haven't done. So, but, That was a fun bag. I was looking in it a little bit at Scrap Club, and then I said, you know what? I'm going to stop. I'm going to do this on the camera so I can show everybody what I got. But that is probably, now here we go, Kevin. Kevin be running that mouth. He say stuff that I say that I don't say. So listen up, Kevin. I will say that this is the nicest prize bag I have ever won quilting related, okay? Seriously, I was not expecting all of that. I did not even look in the containers because I never win things like that. So that was unique. He and they're talking about Kevin only speaks the truth. Just goodbye. Anyone going to the Branson Quilt Show? I am not. The reason why you all haven't seen or heard or gotten much from me is because my mom's party is March 9th, trying to get all the reservations, the RSVPs taken care of, assigning people to tables to make sure that they RSVP, and if they don't, then you just sit at the any open spot that we got. You won't be sitting with like people if you show up. So that's what I kind of been working on. I have been sending out emails for quilt retreat. I still need to send out round robin stuff. You're not late if I haven't sent it out. The problem with round robin is that I found every piece of paper that every list I made, but the round robin has just up and walked away. Okay, that sheet is gone. I don't know where it is. I had 11 names, and one person said they couldn't do it because of something coming up with surgery or something like that. I think I know who most of you are, but I'm not 100% sure. So, if I'm not mistaken, I know it was, I can't remember. I know me, Jason, Kevin, Remo, Miss Vivian, and then we had Carla, and I want to say Joe Carmel, and then I'm missing 3 people. So that's the hold up on the round robin, why it hasn't gone out, because I don't know who you are. What is a round robin? Somebody asked that last week and asking again today. So let me take a sip of this, trying to get something warm in my throat. Good night, Deborah. Bonita is asking, does the cost of the state shirt include shipping? No, it doesn't. But what I will do is I will have it at retreat, and you can just go change in it if you want. Or if you want to pay shipping, I can do that too. I think it's great, though, to wear them when you're, because it's June and you'll be on the plane probably. If you're like me, hot flash, and I don't need jackets and coats anymore. So it'll be nice to wear them as you're traveling. But if you want me to mail it, then it doesn't include shipping. I think most priority shipping somewhere around $10 to $11, depending on the location it's going to. And Bonita says she was one, so I'm missing 2 other people. That's the problem with the round robin, is I don't know who the last 2 people are. And I knew it was somebody that I know because I didn't let everybody in there if I didn't know you, because we didn't want any issues, you know. And I've talked about issues with sew-alongs and things like that, so I'm not going to go back over that. I get asked all the time, what is round robin quilt? And the name gets more confusing as more people do them. But basically, a round robin quilt is something that starts with a center. And it's called a round robin because typically you would pass it to another person, and that person will put a border all the way around the quilt. Not one side, not make blocks and don't put them on the quilt. It has to be attached to the center. So in order for that to happen, it does take some planning. This is not something that I would recommend for a beginner. You do need to have skills on how to make borders fit to a quilt top, and or how to add strips to get a border to fit to a particular size. So say your border finishes at 20 inches on the sides, but the quilt top is only 18 inches. You need to know that I need to cut a 1-inch finished strip to go around so that that quilt top measures 20 inches so that my border fits without me having to chop off my finished piecing. So it does take some skill set in order to know how to get those borders to fit. And guys, if you don't know, I'm having some issues. I think I'm coming down with what my grandbaby gave me. Jersey was sneezing all over me over this past week. From last Saturday, I watched her Saturday. I think I watched her last Friday a little bit because it was my daughter's birthday. She went to get her nails done or something. I can't remember. No, it snowed Friday. So I watched her Saturday. And then I went and picked her up to give my daughter a break. One day at work, we had her birthday dinner. I was there. Jersey was with me. So Jersey gave me her cold because I've taken sinus meds and it hasn't done a darn thing. So I don't talk very well anyway because I'm Southern. So we have our own way of speaking. But I am having some issues today. So I want to show you what a person does to a round robin. Again, I've shown this before. So this is what it is. So I want to move this so that I don't knock this over because we don't want that. I would cry. I would just cry. I don't know if it was Shaquita in here, Kevin. I'm trying to fold this quilt at the top for where I stopped my center, but I have to explain a little bit, okay? All right, so on this round robin, your center couldn't be any bigger than 20 inches. So I started with this flower here, this flower block that is sewn like this. It's made in the hoop embroidery using Angelina fibers. And if you don't know what Angelina fibers are, it's like almost like if you look at it as cotton candy. It's not. It's a fiber texture. And you take different colors of cotton candy and you just lay them in between a Teflon sheet and you fold that sheet over. You heat it with an iron. It makes it flat and very thin. You can see through it. It sparkles. It's very pretty. And so I wanted to make this tulip flower with using the Angelina. And that's what I did in the pink sections. The green, this is a piece of fabric and this is thread, this green. So my tulips are actually Angelina fibers. So then once I did that, I knew I wanted my quilt top to be scrappy. So I went around it with these different color things. So I'm still working on my own top. And then I added this white because I wanted to space it. And then I knew I wanted to put this on point. So then I took these 1-inch finish, I think, squares. No, they might be 3/4. Let me measure that because it looks smaller than 1 inch. Yep, it's 3/4. So then I took 3/4 squares and because I really wanted them to understand that I wanted a scrappy quilt. And so I added this on here as well. When I got through, it was 18 inches. Just in case I didn't like my round robin, I might want to pull my center out because I'm really liking this center. I added a 1-inch strip on each side, making my center the max size that it could be for the round robin. And for our round robin, the center can be no larger than 20.5 inches. So I sent this in with this border already on here, a 1-inch border. But let me get up close so you can see the stitching. You see this right here? Because this person that got it next, which was Debbie out of, I'm not going to say last name, out of North Carolina, she added another muslin border to that. So now, if I hadn't have told you that from back here, you can't even see that seam. But with me getting up close, I showed you that seam. And then what she did was she made scrappy tulip border. So now I'm going to show you that. And this one only went to 3 people. So I started the center. Debbie put this tulip border on that she machine applique, but then the tulips have like 3D little points. So not only when you get somebody center, you've got to open it up, look at it, and say, what would look good on here next? Now, that's up to you. That's your discretion. You don't know if the person's going to like it or not. You're just doing what you think this quilt is telling you to do to it. So then after she got it, it went to, who is next? Pamela out of Michigan. And she did the coins border on here. And all of them are cut to the same size. And then in the corners, she added these little pinwheels. That made it so that she didn't have to do any spacer from off of here. She measured what size this quilt top was when she got it, and she made these fit in here appropriately, so she didn't need a spacer border for hers to fit. And then in the corners, she just made little pinwheel blocks. So then that's what we have there. The last person it came to was Sarah here in St. Louis. She got it, and she made this half tulip, kind of like what we did with the 4-Star General, but she made these half tulip blocks, and she spaced them. She didn't make a tulip to make them go all the way across. She could have, but she figured out a way for her to make it easy on herself that she didn't have to put a tulip in every space. She spaced them evenly around the border. And then she got tulips all around the border. And again, they're scrappy. All of them are different. So did they understand my assignment when I got my quilt back? Yes, they did. Who owns the round robin? The person who starts the center owns that round robin. People think that they're just putting borders on quilts, sending stuff, and then they're not going to get anything back. Everybody that starts a round robin is going to get a completed round robin. On the one that we're doing, we're going to have 4 borders instead of 3. And then also what I did is I made another little block here. I called it Fantasy Flowers because at the time, I didn't know what they were going to put. I didn't know if they was going to go from tulips to any other flower. Could be daisies or anything else. So I wasn't sure if they were going to stay with tulips. So I didn't want to call it tulips. So I just called it Fantasy Flowers. And then I had a space where I marked center, border 1, border 2, border 3. And then at the bottom, when I got it back, I finished the bottom because I didn't know when I was going to complete it. But I got Quilted by Me, finished 3/26/2010. And we started this in 2008. So you can see there's no way I could finish the bottom until it was completely done. But this was started in 2008. I didn't finish it until 2010. So that's another thing. You could put in your thing a label. You can put the marking pen you want people to use with your quilt top so that they're not going to use a regular ink pen. So should you wash your quilt top, then you don't have to worry about the marker erasing out. I do recommend, do I have one here? Not a friction pen, okay? Preferably not a Sharpie. The black Sharpie isn't bad. It won't wash out, but I have had the color markers of Sharpie. It fades as you wash. So I don't recommend using Sharpies. Let me see if I can find the name of the pen because I'm blocking it. It's like Sigma something. Pigma Sakura, S-A-K-U-R-A. And I use the 0.05 size is what I like. This happens to be just a brush marker. I use that when I'm coloring stuff in. But that's my favorite marker that I know will not wash out of the fabric when I'm washing. Thank you, June. Says very pretty quilt. The piece is beautiful. Everyone did a great job. Yeah. And that's the thing. You have to be aware that there are going to be sometimes that you may do a round robin. And it happened to me one time where I didn't like my round robin. And what I did was I put another border on it. I put actually 2 borders on it. And then once I put those next 2 borders on it, I actually was in love with the round robin quilt. So sometimes you may not like it when you get it. Look at it, see what you can do to add to it. And if you feel like it wasn't finished off, because a quilt will talk to you. It's like somebody in Quilt Guild at Quilt Club today, Teaquilts Scrap Quilting Club, came in and had a quilt top and said that she wasn't sure if she should put a border on it. And everybody in the room says at the same time, it doesn't need a border. And sometimes a quilt will tell you that, and you just need to leave it alone. Other times a quilt will tell you, I want a border. You just got to figure out what it is. And so if you don't like your round robin, don't get rid of it, because I'm telling you that once you figure out what's missing or what it needs to be complete, you're gonna love it once it's finished with your final border. There's no rule to say that you can't add a final border to it when you get it back. You just keep documenting as you're going along. So you can add a few pieces of fabric. I don't recommend putting in like a whole fabric for people to use the entire fabric on your quilt top. Do recognize that if you're going to use a line like Tilde, that there may be some people that don't have Tilde, and I'm not asking anybody to go out and buy fabric if you've already got fabric at home. What I do ask people to do is use only 100% quilt shop quality fabric, not fabric from Walmart. If you know the difference in quality of fabric, yes, you can use a piece of fabric from Walmart. But if I get something and the fabric is paper thin, I don't want paper thin fabric in my quilt. If you can't use good quality fabric on the quilt, then I ask people not to participate, because it's not fair to the people that are doing the right thing. So that's why I only let certain people into the round robin, because people just will not follow the rules. You know, there are rules to everything, and there are times that we got to follow the rules. We got to follow the rules so that it's fair and safe to everybody. I've done block swaps in the past where I've asked, please do not use polyester fabric. If you think your fabric has some polyester in it, do the burn test. I've done a video on how to do the burn test to explain to you what the difference is. And I still get blocks back where the fabric in it has some polyester in it. And I'll take my block and I'll cut my block and go burn it and do a burn test and go, yep, it's got polyester in it. So you have to, when you have rules, and if you're not sure if something is polyester, if it feels different than your other fabrics, go do a fabric test. See if it's polyester. If it's thin, don't use it in somebody else's quilt. You can use it in your own quilt, that's fine, but don't use it in somebody else's quilt or use it as a swap. I don't recommend you putting in all your fabrics that you want into your quilt, because that's going to be heavy postage as it's going through the postal system. Priority mail goes by weight as well. Some boxes are flat rate, and other boxes you got to pay. I'm trying not to have people spending $20 every month, because we've got to mail 4 times. Let's see. I'm mailing round 1, border 1, border 2, border 3, border 4. So yeah, you're mailing 5 times, and that can be expensive. If somebody has a whole big old thing that you're mailing out, you could be spending $30 a month mailing somebody's thing out if it's in a big container like that. So I do not recommend, when we're doing long distance round robins, that people put in a whole lot of fabric. I do recommend that if we are doing it as a local round robin, because then you can control what fabrics are used in your quilt. But when it's being mailed, that there's a little difference there. So I think I've explained all of that. If anybody else got any questions, let me know. I see Liz is here. Let me see what she's saying. Thanks everybody for saying the quilt's beautiful. Says, thank you for the great explanation and demonstration. Indeed, skills are needed. That is very, very nice. Yes. And like if I had gotten my quilt back with the piano keys on the outside, it probably wouldn't have been my favorite. But when the next person put the half little tulip borders around the outside, then it brought it all back into play. So you can kind of understand what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. And that person that did the piano keys border, they didn't use all floral fabrics either. So they didn't get the message about I was using all floor fabrics in my quilt other than muslin. Or like the other person did, she did, it wasn't muslin, it was like a light brown background, but it wasn't muslin, but it still worked. This fabric here wasn't muslin. So, you know, you got to be able to read quilts. It just so happened that the person that got it brought it right back into being florals, and she didn't use floral fabrics either. All her fabrics wasn't floral, but people kind of understood the assignment, and I enjoy that. That actually hangs every day in my kitchen, except for it's been down ever since I started talking about round robin, because I keep getting asked questions about it. So I had put it up once, put it back, and now I'm like, I'm not putting it back up until we start the round robins. So that's what that is. Are we going to use United States Postal Service? Yes, we are for this. And it's because it's not a completed quilt. Most people wouldn't know what to do with it if it's not completed. I do recommend, like, you put everything into a plastic bag, say like a 2-gallon Ziploc bag or something big like that. It doesn't have to be a Ziploc bag. And then on the inside of that bag, make sure that you put your name, mail, just put mail to and put your name and address. So if it's ever lost, say it comes out of the package because it wasn't sealed properly, then they know where to mail that to. The things that get stuck at the post office are things that don't have a forwarding address. So always include a forwarding address inside of your bag. So if it gets lost somewhere, you'll get it back, and then you'll have to ship it to who should have gotten it in the first place. But at least you'll get it back. It's not going to sit at the post office in the unclaimed property section. And I always use priority mail, because priority mail, if a mail doesn't shows that it didn't get delivered, they're automatically going to give you at least $100. So at least that person's whose quilt top got lost, you will automatically get $100. You can insure for more than that, but I don't. I just go ahead and go with the $100. So it's something over nothing. So if a package, you want to make sure that when you mail these, that you keep track of the tracking number, the person that purchased the information, because you're the one that's going to have to go put in the claim. The person who's receiving it can't put in a claim. Christine, sold some love and hit the thumbs up button. Thank you, Christine, reminding people to hit the thumbs up button. I haven't sold a thing. I was in here pressing. I don't really feel like really ironing. I think I am just going to go ahead and cut this off. I was actually working on earlier a project for a retreat. The final thing I got to do. I only had to do one thing for retreat and still don't have it. Well, I had to only make one thing for retreat and still don't. Well, I gotta make two things because I gotta do name badges for the new people. But yeah. Lizette says, beautiful quilt. I've done an EQ round robin in the past. Just have to get the file off the laptop. Oh, that's cool. So you do an electronic file, you send it to somebody, and then you decide if you want to make the quilt when it comes back. So that's cool. What's the difference? It's like a piano. It's the same. I said coin. It's really piano keys. I said coins are normally stacks. It's like rows of stacks. Instead of the piano keys, they call that when you go all the way around the border. But it's the same thing technically. How long will we have for each round? You should, on the first of the month, you should be mailing to the next person. So you have really, I'd say like 3 weeks to put a border on the quilt. And think, when you start with something 20 inches and say somebody put a 4-inch border on it, you know, went from 20 inches to 28 inches. And then every time somebody adds a border, that quilt's getting bigger and bigger. That's why I never add more than 4 to 5 borders onto a quilt top. It just depends. If you add 5 borders, you're almost getting into bed size, depending on what size borders people put on the quilt, because you never know if somebody's going to put a 2-inch border, a 3-inch border, or what. I'm having difficulties breathing, guys. I feel like it wants to drain, but you know, it starts draining down the back of your throat, and then you can't breathe. You're welcome, Christine, saying thanks for the explanation. I'm here to answer questions. It was just that I got that question Wednesday as I was about to log off, and that's not something I could have answered in 1 minute. And on Wednesdays, I need to get off because that's really like my television night. I should be watching television starting at 7, so I'm already an hour behind, and then I'm cooking while I'm watching it. So I was hungry, so I didn't have time to answer that because that took quite a long time for me to explain. And I hate to explain something to you and it's not fully explained. So that's why I didn't do it Wednesday. So thank you, Liz, for the reminder, because she could have thought I was just throwing her off. And thanks for the reminder to explain the round robin again. And I do know that everybody is not here for everything, and then being on a 2-hour live when I did that before, everybody doesn't stay for the full 2 hours of the chat. So I fully understand that, but I like to educate. That's why I'm here. It might be irritating for those that are more advanced quilters, but I like to make sure that people understand. Now, can a new person do a round robin? Sure, I'm not saying that you can't. One thing that you can do is maybe do a practice one by yourself. I've done a one-woman round robin before where my guild had a challenge where they had for us to do a few of my favorite things. And I was trying to figure out, how am I going to put, I like log cabin blocks, I like flowers, I like scraps, I like this, I like that. So I ended up doing my own quilt I called the One Woman Round Robin, where I did, it was paper piecing. I started with paper piecing, and then you list all of your favorite things, and I made every round one of my favorite things, and it ended up turning out really pretty, and I love it. But yeah, I actually love sampler quilts. So to me, a round robin is another sampler quilt because every block is not the same. So that's another definition of a round. It's a sampler quilt as well. I actually show my round robins in my sampler quilt lectures because there are different blocks and things going on. Leah says it sounds like a challenge for her. And that's why I say recommend, like, do your own one woman round robin. Start with a quilt block, say a 12-inch quilt block. Decide what you want to put on there as a first border. Just do 2 or 3 borders, and you'll start to get a feel for round robins. And if you don't know, like, just experiment with different borders. Borders don't have to always be super fancy. They just have to go with whatever's happening inside the quilt. Make sure you're pulling the colors that they're using in the quilt. I remember one time on a round robin, I used all cool colors. And I was sitting there thinking it was 1-inch finished pyramids. And I had a gazillion of them. Because they were only 1-inch finished, and it was probably about this size. I used that for my center. It was in cool colors. When I got that quilt back, it was psychedelic because the person who got it from me is more artsy, and she pulled the hot colors and went around it with hot colors. I would have never expected that quilt to come back how it looked, and I love that quilt. I've had probably participated, just off the top of my head, maybe like 10 round robins somewhere in that neighborhood. Some of them I probably haven't even quilted yet. But I actually love round robins. I've done them with, I used to have a group called T Snowman Swap Group when Yahoo Groups was out. So I have a lot of experience with swapping and organizing swaps. And I also swapped with my small quilt guild where we meet in each other's homes every month. We've done about 2 that were just with us because we knew we would get back really nice quilts because all of us were at a certain level of quilt making. When you send your quilts out, you really don't know what somebody's skill level is. All I can go by is what I see the person doing, how they participated in the previous swaps, whether they followed the instructions. That's why I didn't let everybody into the round robin thing. I wanted to make sure that people got back, had the potential of getting back a decent quilt top. Right. She said that was surprise psychedelic. Right. But that was a beautiful quilt when I got it back. And they even used, the artsy person used white check fabric. And she cut it so that when it was sold in, that it was the exact size of the check. And that's how she transitioned from my cool to her hot. And I'm telling you, other people picked up on using either a black and white print or a white with black print in between when they needed to use a spacer. It was actually one of my favorites. And I probably got it on, I'm sitting on my phone. I have to see if I can find it on my website. I have not done anything to my website. I don't even put anything on there other than just the products. And I can't remember what year it was either. And I got my quilts by, let's see, photos. Welcome. So, do I have round robin quilts? Yes, I do. Well, look at me. They probably all ain't gonna be on the round robin page because this is my old page. Let's see. So busy quilt guild. Let me see if it's this one. Nope, that's the one. I don't know why that's on this page. That's not the one. This is the quilt I started with, the cool in the middle. So I don't know how this is going to look on screen, but I just want you all to see that I started with cool colors. And they made this quilt into that. If you go to my website, www.teaquilts.com, I have a menu. Click the menu, and then you'll see a link for photos. And then that's going to take you to a list of my quilts by category. And I've got the category called Round Robin. Most of them are there. There are some missing. This one here is showing this particular swap. It's, which one is this? Let me go back. It's showing what everybody did. This was my small group that worked on the psychedelic one. I'm trying to get it to go back. It went all the way back to teaquilts.com, okay? To the Google page, okay? Menu. Then I go to photos. Then I hit round robins. And then, see, round robins. And then this one that I just showed you, you can see what everybody did to everybody's quilt top, except that I've got an extra quilt in there. This one here that shouldn't be in there. It's So Busy Quilt Guild 2027, 2028. No, 2007 and 2008. So that's the one you want to look at. But there are some beautiful quilts. You can see what everybody did to everybody's. I list like by quilt top. When you click on, you're going to open it up. It's just going to be one quilt. The first quilt that's showing, that's my quilt here. I don't know how that one got on that page, but that it is where it is. And then you click on the other quilts and you get to see what I put on each person's quilt top is on the thing. So I put bow ties on one. I put flying geese on another. I can't, this isn't a good picture to show what I put on here. I don't know what that is. I think it's piano keys or a string border. Probably just a string border. And then I put squares and a funky corner on another one. That's Deborah Quilt's quilt. And I don't know which. I put the flying geese on the inside. It's telling you by border who did what. But yeah, but I had fun with this. I love round robins. I love the creativity of trying to put a border on there. So that's what I do. Can you share a pitch in the group? I can give you a link because it's more than one picture. That's the thing. Let me see. It probably closed. Did it close? See, the problem with this is that, let me see. Desktop site. It's got a share thing, but I think it's just going to give you back to my home page. So let me see. Let's see if I can copy this link. I'll give you a link and you can take it and take it out of here. See what it gives me.